this is Tina. How are you guys doing today? I really just wanted to have a quick tap-in, check-in video. When it comes to the birds, just don't pay them any mind. Of course, they want to start making noise as soon as I press this record button, but it's whatever, okay? So today, I actually wanted to talk about hookup culture and situationships. From my perspective, I do generally feel like this is something that became very normal out of the blue. Honestly, right before our eyes. I don't really think we have generally realized how normal it has become, but it has, unfortunately, okay? I feel like I am allowed to speak on this topic because I have experienced hookup culture as well as situationships, okay? So we could get right into the video. When it comes to the first topic that I would like to talk about as it pertains to hookup culture and situationships, I feel like, for one, hookup culture and situationships, they go hand in hand. I feel like they have so much to do with each other. I just feel like when it comes to hookup culture, the only difference that it really has from a situationship is you put even less effort into the connection or into the transaction, okay? Because I really feel like it's transactional mainly. We can get into the first reason that I wanted to explain when it came to this. Hookup culture is a scam, and here's why. Things end up feeling transactional entirely. I'm glad that I said that, because let me say that again. Things end up being transactional entirely. And I'm glad that I said that before I even got to actually read one of my reasons. When it comes to being a human being, and when it comes to just being a human that chooses to operate normally, right? You're gonna crave human connection. You're gonna crave human interaction. That is normal. But when it comes to romance, of course, especially in today's society, that is in more of a higher demand right now. I do feel like, to a certain extent, when it comes to you being a human being that wants human interaction and wants human companionship and ultimately a quality romantic life, I do feel like, to a certain extent, us human beings, we really got sidetracked with the entirety, like basically the reason as to why we even participate in a romantic life in the first place. Everything is more about instant gratification rather than anything else, okay? There is so much that I had to go through behind the scenes of making this video get put the fuck together. So I feel like whoever sees this, you were supposed to see it, okay? But when it ultimately comes to how things are now, you know what I'm saying? Usually things were just about, creating a loving connection and ultimately a family and ultimately, generational, history after the fact of that. There was much more of a bigger picture I feel like people had on their romantic life more than they do now. Everything is just kind of like, again, instant gratification or just trying to get a quick fix, if that makes sense. So stick with me now, because in a way, there will be certain points in the video where I am talking about hookup culture and specifically a situationship. When it comes to the situationship area, right, I do feel like things start to entirely feel just transactional. You guys only hit each other up to bang. You guys only call each other to bang. You guys only check on each other to bang. Like, everything is just to get fucking spicy, and that shit is weird as fuck. Like, when you really think about it, when you are a person that's connected to their mind, body, and spirit, that shit is generally weird. From my perspective. And let me make a quick disclaimer before we continue to go into this video. This may be controversial to some folks. I am not making this video for people that want to participate in hookup culture and want to have situationships. No, it's not for you. This video is made for people that would like to have a broader perspective as to how they can navigate through the dating pool if they really want to have something serious, stable, and substantial in their life when it comes to romance and having a good partner. Going back to what I'm saying, I feel like, from my perspective, that is weird, because us human beings, we have wants, we have needs, we have emotional and mental needs that need to be met. Desensitizing and programming yourself to be okay with something that is entirely physically and sexually transactional, I feel like that is not healthy for our mind, body, and spirit, considering the fact that there are certain things that your body generally does need, and if you do not fulfill yourself with those needs, you are going to see the adverse effects of that. Being a person that has participated in hookup culture as well as situationships, I came to the realization at 22 years old that that's not what I want to do. That's not what I like to do, and that's not what I prefer, because I put myself to a higher standard of understanding that I, as a woman, deserve a partner that matches my energy, matches my intellect, and also matches certain things that I am looking for, because I bust my ass to be the person that I am today. And it might come off sarcastic, but it's just the truth. Like, I don't know what to say. That's the first reason, okay, as to why I feel like hookup culture is just something that is not really good for you if you're looking for something stable. Reason number 2. This is kind of a mixture of hookup culture and situationship. I feel like they are the same thing. So that's what we're just going to stick with throughout the entirety of this video going on. You will develop emotions over time with no real end goal. If you are doing certain things that consist of you being committed to someone without the actual commitment, you guys are on each other as if you guys are married with kids in a house, but you can't even call this person when you're going through something. You can't even pick up the phone to vent about your life and what happened today. If you can, that's even more dangerous. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because once again, rerouting back to the reason of what I said in the beginning, you're gonna develop emotions over time with no end goal, okay? So it's almost like you gotta really ask yourself, when you are in a frenzy, when you are into some deep shit, the people that you just are only solely intimate with, can you really call on them? Ask yourself, can you really ask them for some sort of support when you're going through a tough time in your life? I feel like that is a very big question that you need to ask yourself before you invest into these types of connections. Because once again, this is for people that want to gain a better perspective as to how they should be maneuvering in the dating pool in a way where you are protecting your mind, body, and spirit once again. Ultimately, you will develop emotions over time with no real end goal. So you're making phone calls, texts, or for some of you guys, you probably were caught in certain scenarios where you were doing everything that a boyfriend or a girlfriend does, but there's actually no title, no commitment, no structure, no security. And that is almost like neurologically abusive to yourself, okay? And I'm making very strong statements in this video, but I'm telling you, I would never be able to tell you this if I did not experience it. It's almost like you are doing the exact opposite of what your body needs, what your heart actually needs if it wants something stable in life, in love. Do you understand what I'm saying? So think twice before you pour your energy and pour your heart into a certain situation when there's really no end goal and you have all these emotions for what reason. And another note, when it comes to things feeling entirely transactional, you already knew from the beginning that you and this individual agreed on this dynamic to be particularly transactional, where you guys are only in each other's presence for the physicalities solely, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. Because I want to keep making clear that this video is only for people that want to see something better out of their love life. I feel like over time, things will just feel like you are being used and that person is using you. And if you are in an authentic space with yourself when it comes to what you deserve, your intentions, ultimately being in transactional connections where you are giving the most spiritual energy that you possess within your womb, for others of you guys, for my men, for the man downstairs, it's almost like it will start to feel like, in a way, you are giving away the most vulnerable part of yourself for an orgasm in return, for a nut in return. Like, be for real. Like, you have to, I feel like this video is like, you just have to be real with yourself, okay? Last but not least, you could be wasting your time investing in something empty when there could be something real on the horizon. So, say if you are in your situationships and you're in your hookup culture dynamics, yada, 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 you're spending a lot of time in an area that's ultimately not really gonna get you anywhere because it's just the blatant truth. I feel like, to a certain extent, for some of you guys that is watching this video, over time and you participating in those type of relationships, you will come to the realization that there could be many things that you are missing out on. And when I say missing out on, you could be missing out on a very sweet young lady, or a very hardworking blue-collar man, or a CEO entrepreneurial man that will give you what you want, a woman that will give you what you're looking for, that you want. And I do feel like, to a certain extent, it is important for you to be in this space of knowing that you have to put yourself in the position of knowing that you deserve better and aligning your own personal actions to match what you deserve, which is ultimately better. So it's almost like when you are spending and investing time into certain connections that have nothing to do with commitment, security, consistency, and ultimately building an empire with you and another person, I feel like it's just a space that some people do have to take time in, because I had to take time in that area. But over time of me spending time with certain people that I knew I wasn't going to be anywhere with, it made me realize that, okay, I actually do deserve and need to strive and respect myself to want more. It's bigger than just romance. You understand what I'm saying? It affects other aspects of your life as well. If I want to be a CEO, if I want to be a business owner, if I want to be the head of certain things, don't you think my worthiness and my standards have to match what I want to do in other areas of my life? Okay, everyone's different, but I feel like that is an easy way for you to perceive that you have to match your actions with what you ultimately know that you're supposed to be doing for yourself. Okay, I feel like ultimately you never know what types of people or what types of partners that you can learn from, benefit from, get loved by if you are participating in a hookup culture situation or in a situationship that is not really going to get you anywhere. Save your breath, save your energy. I know sometimes we have urges. Instant gratification is ultimately what brought us here in the first fucking place. But I feel like it is important for us to be more respectful to ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Create time for your mind, body, and spirit to get what it actually needs and deserves. And if you have to wait a little longer just to receive that, so fucking be it. Do you know how much like people you are gonna cut out of your life? Do you know how much your body count will be held at a minimum, hopefully? You know how much issues you may be avoiding if you just allow yourself to hold on out for the person that actually deserves you. One thing that I like to do, right? I like to be in this space of being like, I like to be in this space of understanding that I work too hard for this shit. What? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, girl, I've been doing tarot. I've been spiritually advising people for the past 5 years. I've been on my own since I was 18. I've been elevating myself. I've been growing. I've been pushing myself to be the woman that I know I'm supposed to be, that I was never taught to be. So it's almost like, if I'm going to be for real with myself, why would I ever settle for something like that? As soon as you recognize that you are in a situation where you are not going to get your needs or your wants met, whether it be a hookup situation strictly or an actual situationship, either way it goes. Some of y'all, you could even be in a committed relationship and it still feels like a hookup or a situationship. You understand what I'm saying? You will know your situation. Just be honest with yourself. Me paying attention and looking back at everything that I experienced in my life, it's almost like you have to allow yourself to prepare for more. I look at everything that I've experienced and I have to really ask myself, am I gonna just give a man or give a girl, it doesn't matter, am I gonna give another person my body just like that without having to work for it, without having to put an actual effort or proving to me that they're worthy of my energy, my presence? So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. There is so much noise in the background, but what can I personally do about that, y'all? I can't really do nothing about it. But I feel like this is what you call resilience, because I'm still gonna come out here and record my video and say what I need to say. I do hope this wasn't too all over the place, but I do want to make sure I'm coming on here being authentic and just recording my life as it presents itself. Okay, if you guys are ever interested in a tarot reading, in an oracle reading, or a consultation, contact me in my bio. Everything is in my description and bio. You guys can quickly message me on my Instagram. Okay, I love you guys so much, and I hope this made sense, and I hope this helped you. Watch it again if you need to. Okay.